Hi, we're Ian and Julie. Follow us on our tiny homestead and our debt-free project of a lifetime, the building of a home here in the Pyrenees, and all of this alongside our full-time jobs.
Good morning, very early this morning, expecting the our gravel 2040 to turn up, and last time he turned up it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, so we're up here. It's just turned 8, so he's not here yet, so we beat him. But I did put on the ground, just in case, a little sign. Ici means here in French.
We start this morning waiting for our lorry to arrive with the gravel, and then we can get started filling the base of the pad with some 020. Stop it getting all gloopy and muddy because we're expecting rain again today.
So while I'm waiting for the gravel guy, I'm just going to lay my strings straight again, and then replace the forms before I then tap them in with a couple of posts. I'm going to go back to the metal yard as well and get some more steel. So right, let's get this done. Perfect, right, exactly in the right position too. And there he goes. 13 ton of 020. It's just as cheap to get it delivered than to go and collect it. If we'd have known that when we were doing the garage, like we've said before, instead of renting out that tipper truck and shoveling everything out by hand. So we're going to get this into the center of the house, compact that down after I put these forms in, and then that will make it a little bit more walkable when it starts raining at the end of this week. And then we're going to get a load of 2040 larger gravel, and that will help with all our drainage around all the sides. So that's the next stage. So we'll get this 020 laid, and any excess can go on the driveway. You know, we've got plenty of places to put it. But it's a lot easier than going with the trailer and then for me and Julie shoveling it out everywhere. Yeah, pleased with that. Right, going to get back to the forms, just waiting for Julie to come back from the metal yard. She went just so she could be cheeky to get them to cut them all down into 50 centimetre lengths. Normally she can pull the card, I'm not going to say the word, and they will do it, where I normally are a bit better, you know, I normally say I'd cut them down to 2 meters just so I can get them in the van. Right, just waiting for her now.
Now I'll get the little one.
Right, that's all the bars done. Julie brought them back all nicely cut, and I just had to drill the couple of holes in them now. So got 16. That's for my last 4 forms here, and I'll get those in, and then we've got the 020 put down.
This is a first of firsts. We'd never reverse the Manitou, let alone with some weight in him. He's doing all right. All our pads. Signalling up to him. Tight squeeze. Little bit more. So we spent all morning and most of the afternoon putting all these forms round the holes we dug yesterday, and to secure them we've put metal rods through and screwed onto the wooden casings. Then we've gone along just securing all the low spots, so when they are filled with cement nothing's going to rise up and we can take these boards off. That's how we've been going round all afternoon, just checking everything, filling them all in. And as you've just seen, Ian's got the Manitou out. We had our delivery of 020 this morning. And then after we've got this spread, we can give it a good whacker plate down. So I better get my shovel and help Ian. That was quite breathtaking what we've just done. We managed to get all the 020 we needed into the pad. It's got a nice thick layer, well not overly thick but a decent layer. So it's just coming down now with the whacker plate in the mini skid. So we're going to give it, see how we get on as much as possible. It's looking a little different now. So we're just going to give it a light tickle now just to see how it goes. And we're due rain tomorrow morning, so that's really going to help us compact this stone. Unbelievable. First pull. And that's been sitting in our son's garage for quite a long time. The ever watchful Floki, Madame Freya keeping an eye from a distance.
Well, I'm just getting rid of the rest of the 020. We ordered 13 ton. We wanted to use it for the driveway here and a temporary path to the front of the house, because as soon as this rain, it's going to rain tomorrow, as soon as this rain hits, this will be a muddy mess. So we basically just want to put this down so we can walk from the workshop to the house without getting loads of mud all over our feet. And that's why we rushed to get it inside the house yesterday. So I'll spread this out and hopefully we'll be all set for when the first rains come.
I feel so mean. Well, we've got the Manitou out. They're in doggy prison. I've got you barricaded in now, you little stinkers. Hello.
Spreading nice even.
Even though we're spreading all this here, this is purely a temporary measure because over time we have to increase the height here and the driveway will stop around here and then this will just bleed into grass. But it's still a big slope. Yeah, we just need a bit more.
I'll just now go back around and offload it like that.
Yeah.
There.
Maybe get the skid.
Yeah, I'll do that in a bit.
Yeah, okay, I'll move these. We've made extremely hard work for ourselves with that one drain there. Quick kick, nudged him in place. Left Ian spreading the 020 on the banks, so we've got better access. And I've just popped out to my local haunt to get the compost for my veggie garden. So I just need to do a little bit of tidying up and refilling of the beds. So here we are at our local authority centre where we get all our compost from. I've come to a new spot at the place today. They've got a new bay. So this is the first time stopping at this one. Me full for today. Perfect. And all that green waste, that's going to go around the corner to make future compost. And over there is the bays where we get all our wood chips. So today's visit for compost, I got 560 kilos for €13. So that was a very good buy. Right now, if I have too much compost today, I'm going to give some to my son for his veggie garden. So I'll just see how much I need to top up, because I'm only topping up my beds this time. Right then, let's go back and find Ian. Back with my compost. Where I've been taking out all my veggies over the summer, it's gone a bit low, so I'm just topping everything up, giving it a recap, and then I'm going to start planting all my onions, my shallots and garlic. So that's why I'm topping everything up now.
So I've just put all the 020, just a thin layer in the bottom of all the pads. So tampered that down, and now I'm just going to get some rebar cage and put it 50 mil off the floor. I'll use some of the cut off block to raise it off the ground. And then when we come to put the concrete in, I'll then drop rebar rods down in the wet concrete, where the blocks will actually sit over. So it's like a mini block of bonche wall, but for 9 posts. So pretty happy with that. Concrete is coming a week on Friday, so about 10 days time. They didn't have any openings, so that's all right though. Well, as before, when we laid the foundations, the footings, it only took an hour with the pump, so it's a lot easier. And we decided, and we're not going to do these ourselves, we're just going to get the pump in. So he'll do the walls and all the post bases, and then we'll fill the blocks in. That's not a lot of work there. So Julie's done the compost, as you saw, so she's just preparing all the beds for all her onions and everything else. and my son's just taken away the rest of the compost. So we'll just tidy up now, and it's an early day today. It's only around 5:30, so we'll go back and get a spot of tea and a bit of a rest, because it's going to rain tomorrow. That's why I wanted to get all of this road pathway down, and all of the 020 in the house base, so at least when it rains, you know, it won't get all muddy, but hopefully it'll sort of push the dust underneath as well. So we'll see you tomorrow. Another lovely day. We're getting into the end of October now. I'm just finishing off my my posts, so I'm going to get some rebar in there, and just finalize all of that part of it. Concrete is still a week away, but we're just getting in here after a big storm yesterday. So these holes are now full of leaves blowing off these back trees up here. So I've got some spare rebar cage and various little bits and bobs. I'm just going to tie it together and form some sort of cage inside. Again, it's not been specified, it's not required, but I just want to add a little bit of strength into them.
So we've cut our rebar trellis and just put a few broken bits of the concrete blocks at the base, just to keep it off ready for the concrete.
All I'm doing is using up the spare rebar we've got. We had some of these cages that Julie stole out of a skip earlier last year. So I'm making small little upright cages. And then the plan is, when we do pour the concrete, I'm going to just podge in 4 uprights that will come into the blocks coming out. So seems to have worked okay.
As we're working from hole to hole, little Floki, he's been following us, sitting on the cushion. So we've come to our local builder's yard.
Well, got fed up of trying to make those cages, so we just spent €20 on the... There we go.
Just back from the builder's merchants, and 2 excited sausages to escape the van. My goodness. You help us?
Yeah, this is much easier than trying to make new ones. So I'm going to go here. Yeah.
Floki, you're unbelievable. Look how
it won't move. It's got on my pillow.
It will not move.
Yeah. That little thing. That's not too high, is it? No.
That's all our post holes done. Bit of a Frankenstein style of artwork with our metal. We've used up every little bit of rebar we possibly can. We did have to go out and buy another length of cage, but yeah, we've done all our post holes now, so that's all done. Another job finished. We're getting closer.
So one thing I don't want to do is move my corners, because they have been set, and a lot of these blocks actually bow. So from either end there's a small bow in the middle. Can't do anything about that. But all of these are either going to be brick slipped or rendered, so it doesn't matter at all. This is just the rough foundation wall.
Right, I've got my laser eye on, looking down.
It is the bows in each block, isn't it? You can see.
Teeny tiny.
It's touching on all of the edges of the block. It's only a couple of mil, but they've got to make these blocks better.
we're now on our second long straight. We've done the other side, got that all nice and plumb and true.
It just takes a long time. What we found though is if you get them plumb, so I'm plumbing up sort of every block as I'm going along, it takes care of the straightness. So just down there's some big wobbles. So by the time I get down there, I was starting off doing it like this, but then you're not checking anything. So doing the plumb, although it's tedious, and also you're not just knocking this top block, you've got to go down a few blocks, which then there is a risk of breaking the blocks. That one's all right. Last little tap. There. So that's all the walls now exactly plumb. I'm really happy. We've got one over there, which is a bit wobbly, and that's where I put the 2 pieces of wood up against it because there was a gap in there, and it's the wood and the bolts holding it. So once it's filled with concrete, I'll just go along with my grinder and just grind off the corner and make it nice and flat. But we are now ready for the top rebar and the spray foam to fill up all the gaps. We're 5 days ahead of schedule, so pretty happy. Not 5 days ahead, it's just that concrete was 5 days too late. So it's these fiddly jobs that take forever, and I just kept putting it off, especially the diagonals and the dimensions, but I'm pretty happy now. All plumb, and I've tapped them from the bottom up, so it should be good to go. Rebar's in, so I think we'll have an early afternoon Saturday. Let's have a bit of a weekend. We've been working 7 days a week now for the last month, so come on June, you can treat me to a Mackie D.